Okay, we're in volume 6 uh, of my set of the Bible story by Arthur S Maxwell. This is my book, my 70-year-old book out of the set. This one has, of all things, Esther on it. And we're almost through with this book. Almost. Okay? We're at part 4, story 6, Gourd That Died Overnight. That died overnight. Okay? You would think that Jonah would have rejoiced at the wonderful results of his preaching, but he didn't. Oh, at first he did, no doubt, but when the 40 days passed and the city wasn't destroyed, he became angry. He was afraid that people would call him a false prophet. Gloomily, he walked some distance out of the city, built a little booth to shield him from the sun, and sat down to see what would happen next. Perhaps God would destroy the city after all, and if some fiery doom was going to descend from heaven, he wanted to see it. Just just then, a tiny seed of a gourd or a vine began to grow beside Jonah. At first he didn't notice it, but soon the vine, as vines will, it spread over his little booth, making him much cooler. But it didn't last long. The next morning the vine was dead. A worm had cut its stem, causing it to wither. Then the wind came up and blew it away, leaving Jonah exposed to the hot sun. Now he became more angry still, thinking of how uncomfortable he was. He felt out of sorts with everything. Do you do well to be angry with the Lord? In other words, God asked him, okay, why are you angry? Why are you angry at the Lord? Or are you angry at just the Lord? I mean, what I read was King James, so. Yes, that Jonah, quite impatiently. God said, "You have pity on the gourd which came up in the night and perished in the night. Should not I spare Nineveh, that great city, wherein are more than 120,000 people?" What a lesson in forgiveness. Jonah was thinking about himself, his comfort, and his reputation as a prophet. But God was thinking all about the thousands of people in the city. Had they not repented of their sins, whether they not even know how, sitting in sackcloth and ashes, were they not even now sitting in sackcloth and ashes? Sackcloth is really burlap, and that's substitute. Okay, how then could he punish them? Was it not far better to pardon than to destroy them? Long years afterwards, when Christ's disciples wanted to call fire down from heaven to destroy a village that would not receive him, Jesus said, "The Son of Man is not come to destroy man's life, but to save them." God is ever the same, merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness. He is a God of compassion and tender love, ready to forgive the worst prodigal the moment he is sorry for his sins. Maybe he put the same sweet spirit in our hearts and make us more like him. And then it has him sitting there in the vine and him getting looking a little angry at the vine for dying, even though a worm got a hold. And this is a short story. So this one was a very, very short story. So that was the end of part 4, story 6. So it's break time, and we're going to break, and then I'm going to finish this out. See you in a minute.